Good morning, students. Now let's start our lecture number 2, Comprehensive Assessment of Mental Health and its Criteria, Causes of Psychic Disorders. Comprehensive Assessment of Mental Health and its Criteria. Mental health is the subject of numerous observations by scientists. The World Health Organization states that mental health problems among children are more frequent every year. In this regard, the more promising today is an integrated approach to assessing mental health. Mental health is a state of mental well-being characterized by the absence of painful psychic manifestations and providing regulation of behavior and activity adequate to the conditions of reality. The content of the concept is not limited to medical and psychological criteria; it always reflects social and group norms and values that regulated a person's spiritual life. According to the director of the World Health Organization Mental Health Department, mental health can be given the following definitions. Firstly, this is the absence of obvious mental disorders. Secondly, a certain reserve of human strength due to which it can overcome unexpected stresses. And thirdly, the state of equilibrium between a person and the environment, harmony between him and society. Anomalies in the psyche of personality are most clearly expressed in manifestations of disharmony, loss of balance with the social environment, with society, in violation of the processes of social adaptation. This criterion is originally connected with two others: the organic organization of the psyche and its adaptive capabilities. For children, the main social function is to fulfill all the requirements of school life, mastery of knowledge and skills provided for in the curriculum, compliance with standards of conduct in relations with teachers and peers. From a medical point of view, the following symptoms apply to mental health: lack, lack of mental illness, normal mental development, favorable functional state of the highest parts of the central nervous system. In schools, clinically pronounced forms of mental disorders as a rule do not occur. The category of children with mental disabilities attends specialized educational institutions for mentally retarded children. In schools, neuroses and neurotic reactions are usually found. Normal development refers to mental development that is age-appropriate and harmonious. The harmony of development lies in approximately the same level of all indicators of intelligence for each age period. Certain indicators are conducive to development. According to psychologists, harmonious development presupposes a previously defined relationship between the tasks that the subject sets himself and the internal resources available to him to achieve them. Under the functional state of physiology is understood the integral complex of characteristics of those functions that directly or indirectly determine the fulfillment of a certain type of activity. One of the main indicators of the functional state of the psyche is mental performance, integrating the basic properties of the psyche: perception, attention, memory. An indicator of a favorable functional state of the nervous system with high mental performance. The mental performance of students is an opportunity to master various academic disciplines. In this regard, the level of mental performance is one of the main indicators of the mental health of children and adolescents. Ensuring a high level of mental health is one of the main tasks of mental hygiene. The set of criteria for the main manifestations of a health society, which are often used in the scientific literature, can be distributed in accordance with the types of manifestations of mental health as follows: mental states, mental processes, personality traits, degree of integration, self-realization, social well-being. The criteria for a favorable state of the psyche include a positive emotional state, presence of mood, which includes emotional stability, maturity of feelings according to age, management of negative emotions, fear, anger, and free natural manifestation of feelings and emotions, the ability to rejoice, maintaining the usual optimal well-being. Mental processes include the maximum approximation of subjective images to the objects of reality, reflecting the adequacy of mental reflection, adequate person's perception of oneself, ability for logical processing of information, critical thinking, creativity, ability to create, ability to use intelligence, knowledge of oneself, discipline of the mind, control of thoughts. The criterion of mental health and self-realization is a healthy person, which is characterized by pronounced focus, getting the meaning of life, energy, activity, self-control, will, um, adequate self-esteem. Mental health is closely related to the social well-being of the individual, which is reflected in such characteristics: adequate perception of social reality, interest in the world around us, adaptation to the environment, and social well-being. Focus on public affairs, consumer culture, altruism, empathy, responsibility to others. Medical criteria distinguish five mental health groups. Group number one: mentally healthy and optimally adapted children. They are characterized by the following features: activity, collectivism, self-confidence, high sociability, diseases. Boys, these children are persistent in achieving the goal. Group number two, children with functional disorders, mainly asthma and neurotic reactions. From their healthy peers, they differ in low indicators of communicativeness, stress resistance, with an increase in responsibility factors. Group number three, children with uh, chronological abnormalities, mainly with the presence of neurotic syndrome. Children in this group are characterized by the following features: decreased activity, increased emotional excitability, increased anxiety, and limited communicativeness. Group number four, children with clinical forms of neuropsychiatric disorders in the stage of subcompensation. These children are characterized by high uh, sus- uh, suscepti- susceptibility to stress, increased emotional excitability, apathy with a high level of anxiety. Group number five, children with clinical forms of neuropsychiatric disorders in the compensation stage, are requiring hospitalization. They are characterized by emotional and behavioral disorders. It is possible to develop depressions against the background to autonomic disorders. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, students.